All right, guys, welcome back. Neil JT here, and I have a super awesome short video for you that I think will absolutely change your life completely if you can just do 3 small things. And when I learned this, oh my God, your life will get 10 times better. You can do it in one day.
I can see the fire that we made just to save us when we try to make up for never letting go. Said the things we promised not to say, then we break up just to start all over, even though we know.
If you can do these couple things in one day, you can get rid of past traumas, old relationships, identities, labels. You can change everything. So this whole video is going to be about letting go to let in. If we hold on to stuff, bad things that have happened, bad people, jobs, we are not allowing new opportunities to come our way. When we're holding on to that stuff, all of our energies are going towards that thing we're holding on to. We're not allowed to focus our new energy on other new things. We'll just miss things. Opportunities will go right by. So essentially, you can see on here that says the world, no meaning. I know that sounds kind of negative, but this is how I look at it. So the entire world is meaningless. There is no meaning. If you were Adam or Eve and you just popped up and didn't have God saying anything, you wouldn't know what anything is. If you saw a tree, you would be like, that's a thing, a chair, a grill, whatever. Those are just things. There's nothing, no meaning behind it, no story we have created. But now in the world we live in, there's a story behind everything. There's meaning behind everything. I know that chair, I sit in that chair. I know that tree gives us oxygen. I know these things because the world has given it meaning now, right? So step 1 is becoming aware of that we give meaning to everything. Everything, this camera, this video, I'm giving meaning to it because that's what it is. Become aware of that, and once you realize that, you're going to be like, oh, okay, so maybe this really doesn't mean anything, because what it means to you doesn't mean the same thing to another person. If a dog dies, I said this in my Instagram video earlier, if a dog dies, it's sad. If your dog dies, it's fucking excruciatingly sad because of the meaning behind it, the stories, everything that's ever happened with that dog, right? So step 1, awareness. Step 2, realize that you can change it. So once you're aware and you realize that everything is a story that you create, because when you look at it, like I just said, someone else's dog dies, not a big deal. Your dog dies, big deal. Someone sees your dog die, not a big deal. Their dog dies, big deal. So you're giving meaning to everything in your life. You're a reflection of your feelings on the inside. You are just mirroring. Your reality, everything you see is a mirror reflection of your feelings. And if you're feeling like stuck in an old relationship, old job, you're going to mirror that out to the world. All right? So step 3 is knowing that you can change it. All right? Change the story, change your mind, change your beliefs, change your identity, change your labels. So let's say you have the best job ever. You get fired. You're like, that was the best job ever. I was getting paid so much. I had all the friends there. This was the job I was going to retire, and I wanted to work here for 25 years. And I met my wife here, and I had a great pension, and blah, blah, blah. The list goes on, right? So that's the meaning you're putting behind it. You're putting that story into existence. That's what you believe in your head. You're putting that story about that job, right? So I look at it like the 1,000 flowers analogy. You bend over to pick up one flower and you never look up again, and you just look at this one flower and you're like, this is the best flower ever. This is the only flower. This is the flower that I want for the rest of my life. But if you looked up, you'd see that there's 1,000 other flowers. For one, this is a scarcity mentality. 2, you're not even open to any new opportunities that could come your way. So with the job, you saying that story about how it's the best and you get paid this and you meet your friends and your wife and blah, 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 all that stuff, change the story to there's a better job out there for me. I lost this job because there's something better out there. 1 flower versus 1,000 flowers. There's more out there. I didn't even get that raise I was supposed to get in October now that I think about it. Yeah, my boss has been a real prick to me for the past 6 months. So start changing the story in your mind of how you see that, because you're putting it on a pedestal. We do this all the time with relationships. We put the girl or the guy on a pedestal above us, which then makes us feel inferior, and that they're the only one out there. Like, you pick the flower and that's it. All you see is up there. They're on the pedestal. There's no one else. But we build this story around that person that they're the most incredible thing in the world, and like, we are meant to be with that person. This is the one for us. I'm going to marry you. We're going to have kids. Like, this is the person I see for the rest of my life, and yada, yada, yada. Well, when the breakup happens or you go your separate ways, you're like distraught. You want to kill yourself because you're like, this was the person, this was the dream person. Like, how am I ever going to live? But in reality, 1,000 flowers, there's way more opportunities out there. But the story you're telling yourself in your head is that that person was the one. That was your future mama. That was the person that was going to change your whole life. That's the story you're telling. You're giving that meaning. Change the meaning, change the story. Like, yeah, that sucks. Like, we're friends, but yeah, you know what? Now that I think of it, like, the past, like, 6 months kind of sucked. Like, there was a lot of bad stuff in there. I realized a lot of things that she did that I didn't like. Would I really want to be with someone like that forever? Would I really want to endure that kind of pain later on? Like, start changing the story. Stop seeing all just the best things ever about that person. Start looking at all the negatives. Start thinking about, oh, now I can actually travel. I wanted to travel, but she didn't want me to travel. She wanted me to do this. And now you can travel. If you start changing that story, it's going to be able to make you let go so easy. Because if you're like thinking about all the best memories you ever had and that's it, you're going to be holding on for that forever. You're going to, even when you split apart, you're going to be in pain for a long time because you're holding on to that. But if you switch that story and start changing it, giving it a different meaning, you're going to be able to let it go instantly. Let's just say, for an example, I did this in another video. I forget which one it was, but say you were thinking about breaking up with someone, but you can't because you can't let go because of the good memories. But then she went to your house, broke into your car, spray painted your dog, burned your kitchen down, and then you were like, and you saw that. Do you think it would be a lot easier to let go? It would, right? Because it's all just a story we're telling ourselves in our head. So you have to look at all the other parts of the story. Stop focusing on the main parts, all the perfect good parts. Look at all the bad stuff and then really become aware. Like I said, realize it, realize you can change it, and then make the choice to change that story, change the meaning, and just let it go. And breathe it out, let it go with the universe. Just keep floating down your tube in the river. And new opportunities will come in now. As soon as you let that go and you free up that energy that's been holding you back. When I've done this in the past, and I did it most recently, I could feel my energy change. Like, I had a link, like, with a person. And it's almost like even when you're not around them, it's proven in studies, in science, that if you're not around someone and you're thinking about them, you are giving them energy. You're sending them energy. We're all on the same network, same pathway of neural technology, and you're giving them energy when you're thinking about them all the time, right? So you're pushing them away. You're actually putting out bad energy, but you're giving them energy. You're giving it fuel. But if you let them go, it switches. It's a polarity. It's like a switch that gets turned off. You free up, and now it's allowing you to take in energy from elsewhere. It happened in my life like in an hour. As soon as I flipped the switch and the polarity changed and I was no longer giving my energy to that person, a new person, even better, came along. So I hope that helps you guys, because when you realize this, that everything can change in a moment, it is so powerful, because we sit in pain and suffering for so long because we're afraid to let go of something, because we're afraid if we let go, we're going to be in pain. We don't want to be in pain. That's human nature. You don't want to be in pain. So if you let go of a relationship, you're trying to get them back. You don't want to let go because you're going to be in immense pain. Maybe for a short time, but if you realize this about the meaning in the story and you let go, there's no pain. It's strictly pleasure, because you're happy for that person that you let go, because as long as you have unconditional love, you're happy for that person that you let go, and then you're allowing new love to come in your life because you're emanating love elsewhere. You're not holding on to trauma and pain from an old relationship or job or identity. You let it go, you're able to move on. All right, so I'll talk more about this in other videos. I hope that was insightful. It really helped change my life, and I hope it can change someone's life out there. Please hit that like button, subscribe, comment below. Let me know if you like these kind of videos, if you want me to talk more about fitness, if you do like the insightful, like deep thinking. I'm a really deep thinker, so I love talking about this kind of stuff. Or you want to hear more science, knowledge, fact-based things, let me know. But until next time, take care, guys.